Our next act can best be described as one part comedy, one part improv, and one part miscellaneous. Representing I can hear this is a hot topic one already. Representing Plug Pals Incorporated, it's McCallie Juniors, Henry Absher, and Morgan Wills.
Alrighty, before we get started here tonight, I'd like to thank McCallie and GPS Got Talent for hosting us here. I'm the CEO of Plug Pals Incorporated, Morgan Wills, and this is Henry Absher, Director of Marketing and Research.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Alrighty, I think that we have a short presentation here that will show our company's message.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and get started with what we have here, and that's what we call, it's a pretty standard child right there. Our next step after that is a plug, a wire, or a cable. And that's right, our last step, let's plug in the child. And that's really what our company's all about, Plug Pals. We're all about electrifying children and making them better.
Out with the nuclear family, let's introduce the electrical family. Alrighty, I think we're open for questions now. If anyone has any, just raise your hand.
Yes, you're there. Right there behind you.
Right in the back. Mm-hmm.
Can you use an Apple charger? No. So interestingly, our children run off of some proprietary technology. While of course you can plug them in, we also have a brand new system of batteries formed out of calcium, interestingly.
That's right, bones. You there, up there. How much do you pay children?
We don't pay children anything.
Exactly.
It's all about the parents' love and affection for the child.
Yes, if you would ask how much these cost, well, they cost your love and affection.
Just like a normal child.
If you love them enough, you'll pay any price. You there.
What's the history of your company?
Well, that's a really good question, and we didn't initially start the company together. We both had similar ideas, but we came together to form Plug Pals.
Mm-hmm. Would you give us the history of where we discovered the technology for Plug Pals?
So like I mentioned earlier, we use calcium batteries in our children, again, formed primarily from bone. Well, recently, after we started working together on this project, we were like, well, how do we get them to charge? Well, we tried working on adults, and children seemed to be more receptive, but they still didn't really like being plugged in, we found. So we took a small company van up to the small town of Salem, Massachusetts, where we disinterred the corpse of a witch outside of the town there.
Spooky.
Indeed. And on the witch's corpse was a piece of paper, which allowed us to perform an unholy ritual to curse batteries made out of bone. And now that's how we plug in or charge our children.
Indeed. You up there. No.
Yeah, yes. Yep.
Yes.
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 It's very ethical.
It is indeed. You there. Can you wreck one?
Well, it's similar to adoption, I would describe the process as. Is you're going to receive a child that has already gone through the process of electrification, which allows for better memory, computation speed, and a number of other great benefits.
See, we have different tiers, right? There's different sorts of memberships. You can get the Plug Pals Plus expansion pack, and it comes with extra downloadable mods onto your child.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You there?
Not yet, but we've been working with the U.S. government and trying to get them off our tail, in all honesty.
You there?
Well, some, and it's a limited 30-minute warranty. If you somehow drop it on the way out of the store, then we can work with that.
And it's only available for those with the expansion pack, of course.
That's right.
You there? Where do we get the calcium?
Well, that actually comes from the bones of the witch that we disinterred out of Salem, Massachusetts.
So she has regenerative properties, and so we have to keep her in the ground, you see. And by doing so, we just keep digging her up endlessly. And use all the bones.
Yeah, we have to drive up to Salem rather often to keep producing the batteries necessary to work with our company.
You up there.
Does it have a headphone jack?
No, you have to use a different set of headphones that are not wireless per se, but there is a jack that's near the back of the ear there.
Mm-hmm. Because the cord where you plug it in is at the back of the neck, so it's a similar spot right there. Mm-hmm.
Up there.
Up there.
How much to have one?
Again, it's not, when you really love your child, the money's not an issue, my friend.
You there?
It does not, luckily.
Not at all.
The same cannot be said of the adults that are plugged in, unfortunately. We miss Bob.
You there? Yes, so how you do it is you have our special child port, right? And you can buy different sizes, of course. So at the nape of the neck is where you plug it in. And we have this fancy procedure, which comes from our company name, Plug Pals. Backwards is slap gulp, right? So in order to wake them up, you slap them on the cheek, and is what they do.
And that's the simple process of electrifying our children. Again, the benefits of having a plugged-in child are immense, and we would highly recommend them.
You know, I think that's all the time we've got.
Maybe we can fit in one more question?
Yeah, maybe one more question. You there? So the children are donated by certain individuals, and they have to be at least 5 years or younger because the cords, it needs to work with the developing brain, you see. And so there is a special kit available, if you so desire, to plug in your existing kid, but it will cost a bit more, of your love, of course. But yeah, I think that's all.
I think that's all the time we have this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that certainly was something. Now, a few questions. Could I get plugged in myself? Could I join the program?
I would personally not recommend that, but if you want to, be our guest.
What might be the risks of getting plugged in at my age?
At your age, well, if you do the same procedure, you'll just have a gaping hole in your neck. So.
But you could plug something into that hole, right? That's the point.
You could, but there would still be a gaping hole in your neck. It does not work with people of
Why
your
is
age.
the hole bigger than the plug? Can't you just make it to fit?
Well, as you see, like we said earlier, we undergo a procedure, and you can't just stick a cord in the neck of someone who's not plugged in, of course.
So I have to be plugged in to be plugged in, is
You have
what
to
you're
be
saying.
outfitted
with
the plug.
Interesting. So you just can't be outfitted right from, you have to be ready for the get-go, right?
Yeah, totally.
Interesting. That's good to know. Can you tell me more about the company's founding, the history of Plug Pals?
Well, of course. When I was in school, I sometimes was like, man, this is really, really hard. Maybe I just want to take a break, and taking a nap isn't quite what I wanted. Maybe I wanted to be fully deactivated. And if only I were plugged in, that could be a possibility.
Interesting. Well, I think I can see the FBI walking into the Frierson right now, so give it up one more time for Plug Pals Incorporated.